With schools closed and camps canceled this summer, a lot of parents are not catching a break during COVID as they try to work and parent from home. Speakers, authors, and nationally featured experts Julie Freedman Smith and Gail Bell of Parenting Power are Canada's go-to parenting team. Their real-life parenting podcast, blogs, and content have made a difference in the lives of thousands with their belief that there is more than one right way to parent. Welcome to the show, Julie and Gail. We need you right now.
Thank you for having us.
How are we going to get through this summer?
We are, and it's going to be fine. We can do it for sure.
Okay, so tell me, what's the secret? Is there a secret?
Well, there are a few secrets, and hopefully we'll share those with you over the next few minutes. One of the ones that we really love to share with parents is the secret to not reacting in the moment. Everyone is slightly more full of pressure than they have been normally, and those things that were itches are now feeling like a body rash. And so any tiny little thing that used to just kind of bug us might cause us to explode. So the tool to put in your back pocket is have one word and make a plan for what that word's going to be. It could be wow, it could be whew, it could be but the way to use it is when you walk in and something's going wrong, the word that comes out of your mouth is wow. And then you shut your mouth and you pause and you take in a breath, take it out again. And then you go with and it could be I see this, or I'm hearing this, or I just heard, or I'm feeling, but you start with the word I instead of the word you, because you little usually leads to a bunch of things that we didn't want to say in the first place.
That's really powerful. That little tool right there that you just shared, that's super powerful stuff for parents to have, in their parenting handbook, is that pause between the action and the reaction. Absolutely. Is huge. And also how we use language is important. So I really love that you said to use I instead of you.
Great. Okay. So just starting with that can maybe cut down on the arguments that are happening in your day to day and leave everybody feeling a little more calm.
Okay. So Gail, what would you say to this as far as the communication? You say clear communication is everything.
That's right. So we've talked a little bit about communication in the moment. Some of these moments happen because we haven't taken the time as parents to communicate our expectations. We often think that our kids will just know what we expect of them. And sometimes they do, but many times they don't. And then stuff happens, right? And we can feel disappointed or frustrated. So clear communication is the key. And it's not just verbal communication. For kids, it needs to be visual. So when we're talking about what we expect our kids to do based on our values within the home, and we do this with our kids, it's not something we do to them. We need to make sure that it is that they have some kind of visual too, not on a screen, but literally go back to the old-fashioned piece of paper. It doesn't have to be a fancy chart. Don't put one more thing on your list to do and then just block it out. Especially in these days, these extraordinary times when we're all home, kids still need a consistent routine. So start with what they need. Start with their sleep. Block that in first. Start with their schoolwork. Block that in second. And that schoolwork block time for most kids is going to disappear, right? So schedule in their activity time. Schedule in their outdoor time. For our kids, they need screen time scheduled in. They need to know when they get that. And it might not just be a kid's schedule, it might be a parent schedule with their work time so the kids can see it and know what's happening.
Okay. So, kids right now, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent right now. Kids right now are getting a lot of screen time. So let's say you have kids at home who are nonstop on their screens. How do you get them off of it? Do you wean them off of it, or do you let's just take it away cold turkey?
Well, that's going to be every family parent's a little bit different. So you have to establish how much time and what kind of use. So if they're creating with that tool, that's a whole lot better for their brains than just sitting consuming it.
Endless TikTok videos.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, it's just a conversation about when. And then once you've established when, you establish, what they can do, who they can be talking to. Where is huge, because the phones in the bedroom is not productive for anybody. That's going to lead to some, lack of sleep and some arguments there. So it's a conversation about when, but we need to it is now a responsibility of parents. Screen time and how much our kids get is now on our plate. It's not going away, so you might as well deal with it now. So again, the American Pediatric Association and the Canadian Pediatric Association have very clear guidelines on how much screen time our kids should be getting for proper brain development, but we also have to balance it with how are they using that screen.
Okay. So we're heading into basically what is essentially the longest summer break ever. So you talk about the I can do list, and I really like this. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So I'm bored are words that drive parents crazy, because the automatic reaction is, you're bored, let me give you something to do, I've got so much to do. So instead of going off that way, a little bit of planning ahead of time can make this a lot more simple. Help your kids to, or if you've got older kids who can do it on their own, to create an I can do list. And it might be an I can do list of things to do inside. It might be an I can do list of things to do outside. What about people that I want to Zoom with, relatives that I want to set up a little Zoom meeting with, or however your kids are interacting with their friends online. So make a list of those people as well. So the more planning we do, what it means is it's clearly visually presented for our kids. And then if they do come to us and ask for our help, we can say, check your list. Or in the morning, if you're reviewing your schedule with your younger kids, and here's a time where you need to be doing something on your own, then I'm going to come together and be with you. We'll all be together for lunch or whatever it is. Then make a plan, check your list, and let's choose 3 things from that list that you're going to do, so that you have a plan of what to do. Because if your kids are used to playing independently, great, this is going to go much more simply for you. But if your kids have never been taught to do that, and you've been the number one entertainment person in your house, it doesn't have to be that way. This is an opportunity for your kids to learn independent play. Start small chunks of time, set them up, and gradually have them be making the decisions about what they're going to do.
Okay, so we only have a couple of minutes left. We did record a podcast, and I encourage everybody to go over to the podcast and listen to the longer version of this, because it's fantastic. But Gail, can you jump in for a little bit here? Just quickly tell me, let's talk about the importance of sleep even through this.
For sure.
That's right. And we have to be careful, because sometimes kids are saying, but I don't have to get up and go to school. So we still know that for a healthy brain development, again, I'm referring back to the American and Canadian Pediatric Association. They have very clear guidelines on the amount of sleep, but we have to be careful that doesn't become after midnight. Sleep before midnight is way more important for the development of the brain. So we need to schedule in our sleep first. You can't make a child sleep. So the expectation is you're in your room with no screens, lights off, lying quietly at this time. Not that you need to be sleeping, but parents need to model good sleep too, because parents need to be kind to themselves and be getting enough sleep, so they have more patience for the next day.
And patience is something we all need right now.
Yeah.
We need to be building up our patience stores, because I think we're in for a long haul with this new reality. So where can people connect with you then on your channels?
So you can listen to our real life parenting podcast, and you can find that anywhere. Parentingpower.ca is our website, and we encourage you to come and check it out. And then any of the social media platforms at Parenting Power. And we'd love to connect with you and help you to answer your questions and find a way for your family to work together to get through it. This is all about teamwork as a whole family and resilience. This is tough. How are we going to do this? Let's make a plan and get at it.
And I really appreciate that you ladies acknowledge that there is not just one way to parent.
No.
I think that when people talk to parenting experts, they sort of get that feeling a lot that they have to do it that one way. So I love that you're open to different ways of doing it. So thank you so much for joining me. We're going to put all your social channels up on the video that we share out on our social channels. And I hope we can connect again in the future.
Sounds great. Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Candace.